Hello everyone, welcome to a review of Far Cry 6. You can call it more on first impressions. I'll give you an intro as to what this video will be about. We'll go over a few sections, mainly NPCs, side stories, side quests, main plot, the villains, graphics and effects, music, leveling, itemization, world and level design, bugs, performance, how many hours can you get per dollar paid for this game, the difficulty, and enemy variety, and finally the score. So this is just an overview of what we'll go over on these impressions for Far Cry 6. As of right now, the channel will have 7 videos on Far Cry 6. I won't be putting any more because, it will be clear as you see the review, but suffice it to say that the game is just it's fun for a few hours, but then it gets stale, it gets repetitive. You will not have fun, and I could stomach it and play through it in its entirety, but I'm my one true objective with this channel, with Twitch, is to keep having fun while producing content. And if I'm not having fun, then there's no meaning to the channel or to the Twitch. So with the 7 hours I played, around 7 hours of Far Cry 6, we'll go over these sections and we'll rate the game. So first section, NPCs and side stories. In terms of NPCs, they are probably the most generic NPCs you've ever seen in a game. That could be okay if you have low expectations, or if you don't care at all about the NPCs in this type of games. If you are one for gameplay, okay, then this is not a section that's really relevant for you. But in terms of uh, my assessment, NPCs are the most generic I've seen in a while in the game. Their dialogue is really bad. I don't know who is writing the NPCs. I was like quickly trying to get them to shut up instead of wanting to hear them, which is not good. You compare this to like Witcher 3 NPC dialogue and or background story. There's almost no background story. Uh, they they are not well written. They are generic and basically overall bad. Side quests in this game are. I can give you an example, and you can. It's enough for you to know the quality of side quests in this game. I was asked to go and find meat, crocodile meat, and another type of meat, to do a dish to feed a dog. That's about the type of side quest content that you can expect in this game. That's enough said. Very poorly rated on this section. Next section is main story and villains. Villain is probably one of the best Far Cry villains, the little I played. It helps that they have signed an actor that did Breaking Bad and that did Mandalorian. It's an actor I really like, so I'm a bit biased there. They don't give him much room to grow and much room to even be on the screen, but the little he is, he steals the scenes, and it's just overall great. So probably one of the best villains that you've seen in Far Cry 6. If you like that, then you probably can get something out of this game. In terms of the main story, every Far Cry, it comes back to a simplified and even more generic plotline. This one is the same, it's recycled over previous Far Cries. What are you doing? There is a country that's being oppressed. You basically are starting a revolution, like previous Far Cries, to overthrow the politician or the tyrant that's in control. In this case, this Antón Castillo. That's basically the premise. There are like a lot of stupid filler missions in between that are not needed, but they are there for the main plot line, and they don't bring up anything in terms of to advance the story. It's pretty much cookie cutter plotline in terms of Far Cry. Let's overthrow the villain. There are a few missteps along the way. We need to kill I don't know how many 6 guys that are under the main villain, and then you can go ahead and overthrow him. Graphics. I wanted to say that this was probably the best part about the game, but it's actually not. I'm actually surprised that graphics aren't that much better. If you like put Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4 on the same screen as Far Cry 6, Far Cry 5, there's actually not that much of a change. They even have an HD texture pack that doesn't bring almost any difference apart from the VRAM that's used on your GPU, which is a lot, and you don't see that much difference. You can see on the screen. I mean, I don't think that's the graphics are that great. I've played much better games with much better graphics. You would think that Ubisoft would manage to do better, but this is what the graphics have to offer. Not great, not bad, just okay. Next section is sound effects and music. Sound effects and music. I have nothing to say about sound effects. The guns sound meaty, the sounds are believable, everything is okay in terms of explosives, weapons, throwables, melee, everything is okay. Um, Cars, motorcycles, everything in terms of sound effects is pretty good. I wasn't expecting anything less, so pretty good in terms of this. Music, you probably want to mute your sound whenever you play Far Cry 6. If you are in a car or in a vehicle and that has a radio, you will want to, because this is the type of music that plays around discos at night. Um, that's not good. That's not good at all. I can't say I liked any of the tracks. Appalling, really. Next section is leveling and itemization. There is no leveling screen here. There is like no skill system, no leveling system. I might be wrong. It's been a long time since I played Far Cry 5 or Far Cry 4 for that matter, but I thought that there was some leveling parts. There's nothing like that in here. You have your weapons. You can use mods. There is some new weapons that are introduced, like resolver weapons that they are called in this game. They are pretty cool, and they bring a lot to the in terms of weapon variety. But in terms of leveling items, I don't think there is anything here. So we can either skip this section or give it a 0 because it's non-existent. World and level design. If you've seen one island in Far Cry 6, you've seen it all. There isn't much difference in terms of color contrast in all the regions. There isn't much difference in terrain. It's pretty much the same. You'll of course have different locations, different just overall different headquarters. I don't know, wherever you go, it's different, right? But at the same time, it's using the same terrain, the same fauna, the same colors. So it's not like you go to one side of the map, you can clearly say where you are. Where you go to another side of the map, you can also say where you are. No, it's not like that. For example, in Witcher 3, you could do that. An example. Here, no. The design is pretty standard. I don't see any good points here. Bugs and performance. Can say that in terms of performance and bugs, it's actually pretty well optimized. I didn't have any frame drops, any performance issues. I didn't see any bugs either. So I think it's a pretty well optimized game. So if you want some smooth gameplay, some smooth gunplay as well, stealth, and you are just in for that, maybe it's a good game. Yeah, maybe it's pretty optimized. Guns feel meaty, guns feel balanced. In terms of that area, it's pretty good. Then you have enemy variety and AI. You won't have much enemy variety. I mean, this is a Far Cry game, right? You are attacking the same enemies over and over. You may have like, I don't know, in this case we have like fumigators, which are like poison grenades type of enemies. You have of course your animals, you have your commandants, you have generals, and the common soldier, of course. So that's the variety. There's like nothing mystical or something that you can sometimes see on DLCs for Ubisoft games. Apart from that, in terms of AI, I want to speak about this because this can be a pretty decisive factor when if you are buying it for the gunplay and the gameplay in general. AI is pretty bad. And this ties in with the difficulty. Even if you go for the hardest difficulty, this game will be a cruise. You can either go guns blazing or you can stealth your way and you still have an easy time. AI react poorly to you. They take their time with their shots. Uh, Even when they make them, the damage is really not that high on the hardest difficulty. And you can just run around them in circles and kill them. I mean, it's not the worst AI I've seen, but it's also not even good AI. It's pretty middling. It's not good. Makes the game terribly easy, and that's one of the factors that may make you uninstall after you play, I don't know, 7 to 8 hours if you are in for the gunplay, which was my case. I was in for the gunplay, but after 8 hours the game was too easy. I was basically one shot headshotting anyone, and it just gets boring pretty quickly, right? The loop is pretty repetitive. If the story can't bring anything, and the gameplay starts to get repetitive, there's nothing in the game for you. Lastly is how many hours per dollar paid. So believe that Far Cry 6 you can buy it for 69.99, the basic edition. Of course you can have discounts and sales and so on. But for the retail price at the time of release, the amount of hours paid if you go for a completionist run, which should be around 50 hours, would be less than $1 per hour paid. It's not bad. It's also not good because the content that you are doing for a completionist run, it's not entirely great. It's collecting crates on the map, doing checkpoints, doing capturing bases with the same repetitive gunplay, and it all comes down to the same point, right? So the activities that they add on the side, apart from the main story, are not great. They are busy work, and they pad the game length to try and justify some of the price that's there. But since they are not good, they are busy work, and they don't vary enough throughout the game. Uh, I don't think that the amount of money that you pay per hour that you play is a good offer here. So we conclude with the score. I won't give a score of 0 to 10. I think that's overused. So I'll give something that's technical and that's helpful for a player that's trying to buy a game, which um, is it worth a buy? Is it worth a buy on maybe a sale? Maybe on like a deep sale, 85%, 90% sale. Is it an avoid? Or is it a don't even think about this game when you're looking up at a Steam sale or a key sale? I would say it's avoid, but if you are someone that doesn't mind some repetitive gunplay, that doesn't mind some easy difficulty, then maybe you can buy it on a deep sale. This game. That's my overall thoughts for Far Cry 6. If you agree or if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Um, every opinion is welcome, even the ones that are not in the same vein as mine, because there's not one opinion that rules all, and I believe that everyone has a right to their opinion. So let me know what you think, and if you want to support the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and keep watching the new content. Thank you, everyone.